former world title challenger who hopefully will get that chance again. Had a bit of a nightmare just after around Christmas time with the fight with Joe Smith, but it is, of course, Callum Johnson. And Callum, I know you're back in the gym and re-energised and everything else, so just tell us where you're up to now, because obviously that fight, that was a huge blow, the COVID situation, to rob you of that chance in the States.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, obviously, as you can imagine, January, February, I was a little bit depressed, but I've kind of let it go. I've accepted if there's no, I was there for weeks on end thinking what could have been, what should have been, and all the rest of it, but I've learned to let that go, and I'm back in and I'm moving forward and I'm looking forward. So that's all I can do.
From your point of view, Ant, as well, you're seeing him in there as well. So
yeah,
fired up.
Fired up. So my elbows are still ringing from yesterday. But no, I'll say it all the time.
He's lucky I only tapped the pads with
him. The big air pads come out for CJ. But no, I'm not, just because he's a mate of mine and I'm lucky enough to sort of work alongside him at times. I still believe CJ, on his day, the light heavyweight division in Britain's one of the very best divisions, in British boxing. But I believe CJ at his best is the top of that pile. I know he's the first to say he's not got time on his side. He's getting on a bit now, but he's fresh in the gym. He's not been in wars. He's not been in hard sparring. Over the years. Joe's always looked after him like that, so he's still relatively fresh. I don't believe he's a 36-year-old, but you're 36, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I do believe on his. That's it.
That's what I mean. I always think about that, and I always think if Bernard Hopkins can do it at 49, I can do it at 36 and 37 and 38.
Louis Ortiz can do it at 62. Then there we go.
Yeah, just 100%.
But talking to the light heavy scene, I know that obviously I think it was Deck Taylor in Boxing News this week has said that a fit and raring to go Callum Johnson's the best of the light heavies around domestically, which is very strong. Obviously, when you got the likes of Boatsi and Yard and Callum Smith, of course, you both know so well. Do you feel that if you get yourself right and you get that date, you get that something that to fire you up again, that you are the best?
Yeah, I do, because you've got to think that. I think that I'm one of these that when I'm fired up and I'm rearing to go and I'm ready and my mind's right, my body's right, and everything's going right, I believe I can beat anybody in the world. But when obviously things ain't going right, I don't feel like I could beat my missus.
Don't do that.
But 100% fit and strong Callum Johnson, even at 36, 37. I'll beat anybody in the world. It's as simple as that. But I'm not saying I can't get beat, because obviously I can. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world either, because I'm not. But I'm just saying on my day, the best version of me is really, a problem.
Yeah, I mean, again, what can you say, putting you on the spot a bit, but when you see a fella like this close up all the time, that when you get back in that mix and you start talking about Boatsis and all the rest of it, and you've seen them all up close.
Absolutely. The only fight, and it never would happen, and never what I see Callum in, is with Mundo, with Callum Smith, because the mates, that's never even, like I said then, I didn't even, because I don't even think about him.
They don't even cross my mind.
And it never will, do you know what I mean? So any other light heavyweight in the world, like I said, a fit and focused CJ, I believe, has more than a good chance of doing it. Yeah, so I do.
What is the plan now in terms of dates and stuff like that?
Just to get ready again and go again, and leave that to Joe to sort out. And just listen, I'm at the stage now where I'm not bothered who I fight, when I fight, if you like. I'll fight whoever's there for me. I'll fight. First name that gets mentioned, yes.
Has it got to be of a level though?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it has to kind of make sense. Do you know what I mean? It has to make sense to a certain degree. But yeah, I mean, anybody who's a world level fighter, top British level fighter, let's do it.
But it's a bit of the who needs me, isn't it?
Exactly that, and I think obviously credits with CJ, credit's got to go to Joe and Frank. Frank delivered for CJ again. It was just massively unfortunate. I think you're talking about bad luck in someone's career. Helen, I don't think you can talk about anymore. Him not getting any, but hopefully that opportunity can come again. But there's not going to be a queue of either champions or prospects who are going to be thinking, I'll give CJ notice.
Yeah, because you boxed over there before. I mean, that had all the markings of of a top fight. You and Joe
Yeah,
Smith.
yeah,
it,
definitely.
Really.
That's a fight that's it's a great fight for the fans, as I say.
Don't legalize violence.
We don't like taking a step back, either one of us, do we? But it's one of them, the one that got away, I suppose. But I do feel that his style and the way he fights is made for me. That's what I think. I never got to show it, but I do think I'd have beat him. It's that simple. But that's why it's kind of so. It was so kind of depressing for me to go through them weeks after, knowing that I should have been there and I wasn't.
And with that, the domestic scene the way it is now, I'm sure you cast an eye on Lyndon Arthur and Yard, and with Boatsi's coming up now as well. Again, and Callum Smith's a friend of yours, so again, if we keep him out of the equation, I mean, who do you think with your style would make you look the best out of those others?
I don't know. Maybe I think I'd bash Lyndon Arthur all around the ring. I don't think he'd have anything to kind of. He's got a good jab and everything else, but I think I'd put it straight on him. Anthony Yard, again, he's very powerful. He looked the business against Lyndon Arthur in that fight in the rematch. But again, I think it's more down to. I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting because I'm not that way inclined, but I feel like that was a bad Lyndon Arthur that night, real bad Lyndon Arthur, which made Yard look better than he probably was. But you can only be what's in front of you at the end of the day. And Boatsi, great fighter, he's got all the Olympic pedigree and everything else. But that's one that could have happened a long time ago. They never wanted to make that fight happen. There's been for the last 3 years they've spoke about that fight. And there's been numerous times me and Joe said to Eddie, well, let's make it then. And they've always not made it for whatever reason they've had. So it is what it is.
Could be a tricky night for Boatsi anyway against Craig Richards, who did so well against Bivol, didn't he?
That's a good fight. I was going to ask you, how did you see that going? I think do you know what I thought? Yeah, I thought Richards done really well against Bivol, and since he's moved up, he's looked a lot better at light heavyweight for sure. But then I say Boatsi, I thought showed a lot of improvement, maturity in the win against Bolotniks, who very well. He's more than an handful. He fights again this weekend, Bolotniks. But yeah, so there's no denying Richards will be a pretty big underdog there. But I think Boatsi's out there, he's working hard. I think actually Lyndon went over doing a bit of sparring with him under Virgil Hunter, so we'll look to see the improvements there.
So you're back in the gym, but how is everything when you are back in there now? Busy gym. We were speaking to Joe about it. It's lively now. You've got coaches now that used to be your training mates with Scott Quigg and Anthony.
It's mad. It's mad. Like I say, yesterday I done pads with both Crolla and Scott, and like Joe was saying before, it's good work. It's good pads that they do, and it's I've trained with them for years, but I still listen to them, as a coach, and respect them as a coach. And Scott's telling me yesterday, and Crolla's telling me things, and you listen and you take it on board, because at the end of the day, they've been there, they've done it, they're both world champions, they're both top fighters, and they've got that knowledge that they've got from all over the years, and it's good to still have them around as well, you know what I mean? Because I remember training, you used to watch Crolla and Scott, and there was like on the bag together, and you used to watch them and think, wow, they're a pair of animals. But now they're there coaching you, and you have that same thoughts.
He didn't have that hair then, though, did he?
He needs to cut it, to be fair, I think. It's getting a little bit thin at the front there.
Don't worry about me. I'm going nowhere. Nowhere am I going.